welcome to this Let's Make a Dark Eldar list. A revised video though. Yeah, definitely a revised video. So I got my codex a little bit early, so last Wednesday. I read through it for a couple of days, did my review, did a little bit wrong, wrote a list, did a little bit wrong, and people have been commenting and helping me out with some ideas and informing me what I got wrong. So I've written a new list, and hopefully this one will be a little bit better, and I'm hoping you guys can let me know what you think about it. And again, I'm going to talk about the tactics behind what I've written in the list as well. So as in the previous one, I'm going to use an Archon for my HQ, Warlord essentially. The Archon is 60 points. I'm going to give him a Blaster for 15 points and this Shadow cloney thing for 40 points, which is going to give him a 2-up invulnerable save until he fails it, and then he's going back to his armor save. Now, I put him in a Venom, and I'd said about how I'm going to have a lance shot in a Venom, but people have informed me that it's open topped, yes, and I can shoot, but if it moves more than 6 inches, he's going to be snap firing, which is true. I did forget this, but still, it does add an extra 6 inches to his lance, and it does mean if his vehicle does blow up, and then he's a bit vulnerable, and units are coming at them to try and kill him, he's got that pew pew to, if it's a vehicle or if it's Terminator, to try and take them down. I previously had him with 3 incubi for 60 points. And a lot of people tell me I should not do this because they're toughness 3 and only a 3-up armor save. There's a lot of things that go through 3-up armor saves. So instead, I'm going with an Archon Court. And the Court of the Archon. And I'm doing 4 Sliths. Now the Sliths are the snake ones. They're a bit odd. I don't really get them. It's basically a 4-armed snake, essentially. It's weapon skill, ballistic skill 4, strength and toughness of 5, 2 wounds, initiative 4, 3 attacks, 3 leadership, a save of 5-up, and it comes with Cabalite armor, which is the 5-up armor, Shard Carbine, which is 18-inch poisoned 3 shots, AP5, so, and a splinter pistol, and a close combat weapon. So someone told me, why don't you use them as your little retinue, because you'll have a majority toughness of 5 and they've each got 2 wounds. So I was like, okay, so I put 4 of them in, which is essentially gives my Archon toughness 5 now because of the majority, and the group is bodyguard have 2 wounds each, so that's 8 wounds they have to take down before they get to the Archon. So I thought that's kind of clever. So I've got 4 Slithe. I also upgraded the Venom that he rides on with a splinter cannon, because the idea of this guy is going to be zipping around to cover, shooting, zipping around to cover and shooting, and kind of being a nuisance but not being right in my opponent's face. Now altogether that's 280 points, and that concludes my HQ section. So the troops now, I've kept it exactly the same as in the previous list. 5 Cabalite Warriors, 40 points in a Venom. 5 Cabalite Warriors, 40 points in a Venom. Each Venom is 55 points, no upgrades. Nice and cheap, 190 points for troops. Again, zip around, grab an objective, do some shooting. Zip around, grab an objective, do some shooting. Break off from the Venom. If a objective is in a lot of cover, just stick in the cover and let the Venom go off and do something else, which will then essentially give me 4 units in the troops, which is more than enough for fun, and they've got quite a bit of shooting on them. So they again are just there to get the objectives. It's all about playing the game and the mission, if you're going to win with the Dark Eldar. So they will be the ones grabbing all the points, and there's other stuff in this list which will doing all the hitting power and hurting more. So that's my troops, same as the last list. Okay, so the elite section, this is a little change. So I kept 5 Trueborn, that's 55 points, in a Venom with a Splinter Cannon. I was told off by everyone saying I need Splinter Cannons on my Venoms, so I am putting it on this one. I was then informed that that I could, in the previous list, I put 2 Dark Lances in them. I was thinking again, Dark Lance is cool, moving up, doing that. But again, if I move more than 6 inches and I fire the Dark Lance, it's snap shooting. Now the Venom is a fast moving vehicle. If I move 6 inches, I'm going to get myself out of cover and be right in the open, which is silly. But you can jink. I have seen it on mini wargaming where they jink and it doesn't affect the riders shooting, so they won't be snap firing if they jink. But I don't want to give my opponent that option where I could just keep them in the cover, and if then I did jink, I'm going to have a 2-up cover all the time. So I've given them Splinter Cannons, so that unit is huge with shooting because Splinter Cannons are awesome. So that unit is how I've got Splinter Cannons coming from the Venom. Okay, so Trueborn will have Splinter Rifles, which will be rapid fire 24-inch poisoned. The Splinter Cannon from the Venom, 36-inch poison 4-up AP5 salvo 4/6, and then 2 more Splinter Cannons from the unit, 4/6 salvo poisoned 36-inch. Now, again, Ian's still got the Codex. I've got the Codex. Ian's still got the rulebook. His. Can someone please put in the comment section below for me what and how a salvo weapon works, 4/6? Because if it's, because I don't really know. I know Space Marines have salvo weapons. I've never played an army with salvo weapons and never used salvo weapons. So if someone could put a comment in the section down below just to let me know how to use salvo weapons. I'm presuming then, if it's /6, this unit will have about 18 salvo shots because I've got 3 Splinter Cannons. No, 4 because the Venom already comes with a Splinter. So this Venom will have 2 Splinter Cannons and there'll be 2 Splinter Cannons with a Trueborn, which would be, if it's a salvo 4, that's 24 shots. But what is the difference between salvo 4/6? I don't understand. Please someone help me out with that. But I've given it to them anyway. Incubi, I got told off, a bit of a slap on the wrist again, because previously I had a unit of 10 Incubi and a Raider. I was thinking, yeah, flat out, all the way to my opponent's edge, and then they've got 10 Incubi to go through. And people were saying, you shouldn't put all your eggs in one basket, or 10 Incubi in one Raider, when they're only toughness 3. Because even though they have a 3-up armor save, anything shooting at them with any weapon is going to be wounding them like that. Unit of Tau Fire Warriors, they're wounding on 2s. Normal Space Marine Bolters are wounding on 3s. And by the time I'm super close, they're going to be in rapid fire range for a lot of weapons out there. So I reduced the number, and I've reduced it to 5 Incubi, which is 100 points, a Raider 55 points, Dark Lance 5 points, Night Shields 15 points. The Dark Lance is just there because I need another Dark Lance option just to see how the battlefield turns up. I can still move at 12 inches, fire the Dark Lance, move at 12 inches, fire the Dark Lance. The Incubi are going to be a clean-up squad. That will be there for if my opponent deep strikes anything on my side of the field, near my Archon. I can see, right, they're going to go for my Archon, I can bring them over and mop them up, because their weapons are strength 4 AP2. And they come with 2 attacks each. So they're going to do a bit of damage, Or if I see a unit that has been pummeled, say I fire at his Land Raider, he's got Thunderhammer Storm Shield in there, boom boom boom, the Land Raider's gone from all my shots, a couple of Terminators have gone, oh there's 3 left, oh my 5 Incubi should statistically hurt you a lot. So they're just a mop-up squad, nice, and they're not too expensive. That unit alone is only 175 points for a Dark Lance and 5 Incubi, 3 up armor save, and strength 4 AP2 close combat weapons. So that is what I've done with the Incubi compared to the last list, and I've agreed with people 10 Incubi is quite silly. And the next thing I did wrong in the previous list, I had 10 Mandrakes and I put them in a Raider. You can't actually put Mandrakes in a transport from the start. I can obviously buy a Raider because Dark Eldar can have 6 fast attacks in a Force Org. It's in here, which is brilliant. But I could have a Raider because that is a fast attack option, and then I could put the Mandrakes in them from the start. And then have it going off. But you know what? Mandrake's got a big boost. 10 Mandrakes is 120 points. They come with Infiltrate, which means they can outflank. They have Stealth and Shrouded, so they have a 4-up cover save standard. They have a 2-shot, 24-inch, strength 4 AP4 weapon. So why not keep them in reserve and bring them on turn 2 from either side and just shoot a unit? Or if I did want to be an accurate kamikaze sniper unit, get a Homunculi, get them in a Raider, get the Homunculi to buy Webway Portal, because then that means when you come in from Deep Strike you don't scatter, and I can go but I'm going to keep them like they are, 10 Mandrakes coming on infiltrating and outflanking, having my opponent to worry about, oh, I've got all these fast vehicles that I can jink, they've got extra cover safe, some are flicker fields, they're going around, oh they're behind cover, I have to shoot them. Oh now I've got more of his units here, they've weakened my back units, maybe Devastators, or some Tower Fire Warriors, or some troops that are at the back hoping to hold an objective. Pew-pew! You're now weakened or destroyed. Now you have to deal with the Mandrakes, while my other units continue to advance up the board, shooting you with their heavy weapons. So my elite section comes to 445 points. This is the most I've ever pumped into an elite. I feel that the Dark Eldar's elite and fast attacks are amazing, and the heavy support, as opposed to with my Tyranids, where it's all about the heavy support. Dark Eldar have a lot of good options throughout this codex, I feel. Okay, so fast attack. In the previous edition I used 10 Hellions for 130 points. I've continued with that, 10 Hellions for 130 points. Now, previously, excuse me, I was a little bit wrong. Both in my Codex review and my last list, I can only apologise. The Hellion Skyboard, models on a Hellion Skyboard have the jump infantry type. Hellion Skyboards confer a 5-up armor save and are armed with splinter pods. And I looked at Stinger pods and I read the profile, 24-inch strength 5, AP5, assault 2 blast, which is awesome! It's amazing! But they don't have it. They don't have it. Shh, Mark, stupid. Hellion Skyboards have splinter pods. Now splinter pods are 18-inch, AP5, assault 2 poison. So it's still 20 shots, but that's 20 poison shots. It's an 18-inch range plus their 12-inch movement, makes it a 30-inch arc of firing. 20 poison shots is still awesome. So again, these are another annoyance distraction unit. Moving from building to building, cover to cover, behind things, shoot down a little bit, shoot down a little bit. It's going to be a combination of fire with this army. It's like, my little annoyance units are going to weaken some of your units, you're going to be annoyed. Imagine a swarm of bees coming at your face, or flies. And they might do a little bit of annoyance to you. You're gonna swat some of them, the ones that are really annoying you, and then a truck hits you. And then that truck that hits you is going to be the big boys. And one of the big boys is a Razorwing. Razorwing's going to come in from turn 2 onwards with 2 Dark Lances and a load of missiles. So already you've got a flyer, which is going to be hard to hit, because it's a flyer, with 2 Lances coming at you. So that is going to hurt a vehicle, seriously. And also, there's a lot of heavies coming in the heavy support. I've filled my heavy support to the max, and that's going to be very interesting to see. But yeah, the first truck that's going to hit you is my Razorwing with Dark Lance. This is 2 of them. That's 130 points for the Razorwing, and the Dark Lance's upgrade 10 points. It's good, it's cheap, essentially a cheap flyer, which looks good. The last of the fast attack, I only used 2 in the previous list. I've now got a unit of 5 Scourges. After rereading the Codex a few times and a few comments on my videos, which I've agreed with, Scourges are probably an auto include now. Now, they're 80 points. Scourges, or Scourges, however it's pronounced, are they're pretty cool models. I do really like the models. The thing about them is power from pain. Ghost plate armor. They have shadow carbines as standard and plasma grenades. 4 up armor save, and I think the other ones with a 4 up armor save and 6 up invulnerable save. So the interesting thing is, up to 4 Scourges may take items from the special or heavy weapons list. Now I read this and then was like, carry on with the Codex, because I was like, oh maybe, but the Razorwing is so cool. So these guys, I used to see them come in from reserve, do something, but not a lot. But looking over them again, the unit cost, with their upgrade that I've given them, is about 140 points. Again, not too expensive, but it is 5-man squad. What did I put in them? Well, I put in them 2 Haywire blasters and 2 normal blasters. So they'll deep strike in. The blasters are 18-inch strength 8, AP2 assault 1 lance, and the Haywire blaster is a 24-inch assault 1 Haywire. Ballistic skills 4, so they're going to be hitting most of the times. I've also got a solid right in there for funsies, because they need that leadership 9 just in case. And yeah, so I had extra points, so I did that. So power from pain. These guys deep strike in turn 2. In turn 2, they're going to have a 6 up in feel no pain, which is nice. Then turn 3, they'll have a normal 5 up feel no pain. These guys, you deep strike them in. You then fire with these weapons. So I have 2 Haywire shots and 2 Lance shots. Statistically, I should be destroying a vehicle at least, or crippling it beyond belief. These guys can take down a monolith, no problem, absolutely no problem. Deep strike them in, boom. Now, Ian likes to have his big tanks with his giant weapons at the back of the field. The rest of his army is in front. Teleported. Oh look, I've got some Scourges. Oh, my Mandrakes have come in, they felt your troops. My Scourges, and you've now lost a tank, which is awesome. So that is an auto tank killer. Again, you have to now deal with them, or deal with what's coming at you with the splinter cannons. So the Scourges are brilliant. If I wanted to be really cheesy, I could have 6 units of Scourges, all with the same loadout, because I can have 6 fast attacks in my force org. That's 6 vehicles gone, and I would have only have spent 600 points. And then I've got other things in the army to destroy troops. So these guys are awesome. So if you're ever worried against Imperial Knights or anyone who uses like vehicles with lots of hull points, or just an Imperial Guard vehicle list, and you're like, well, how do I take them down with Dark Eldar? Oh look, here are the Scourges, dead, dead, dead. Scourges are awesome, brilliant. So yeah, that's also included. My fast attack comes to 410 points. So lastly is the heavy support choice. Like I said before, it's very similar to my Tyranid one. I've kept it pretty much the same. Yeah, I've kept it the same as last time. So I've gone with 3 Taloses at 360 points each, and I've given them the Haywire Blaster 30 points altogether because it's a 10-point upgrade. That's what do you call it? You re-roll it. Twin-linked, a twin-linked Haywire Blaster. So these guys are going to be moving up the field. They're toughness 7, 3 wounds, 3 up armor save, 5 up feel no pain. Boo boo, again, crippling. That's essentially the 3 shots are going to go through, and then you're going to be glancing minimum. So that's going to be glancing a vehicle, or doing a penetrating hit to a vehicle, and then hopefully crippling it. Even just making the vehicle snap fire means it's pretty much useless for that turn. So I've got my Scourges doing their thing from reserve. These guys are coming up, haywiring things, haywiring things, haywiring things, opening up the goodies, cracking these tanks, things spill over, the troops are out, then my splinter cannons can deal with the troops. My opponent is going to see 3 monstrous creatures. After they see them shooting a vehicle and destroying it or really crippling a vehicle, he's going to think, oh no, these guys, I need to do something. He's going to fire at them. I run a 3 unit of Carnifexes with a Venom Thrope, so that's a 3 up armor save, 5 up cover save usually for them. So I'm used to those kind of saves. These guys have toughness 7 though. They do only have 3 wounds, but to be fair, there's a lot more things on the board my opponent has to go for. The Taloses are going to hurt. Also from the heavy support is a Ravager, 110 points with 3 Dark Lances for 15-point upgrade for that, because they're 5 points each. Again, I can have that in turn 1, have it coming in, keep it off the table. Turn 2, come in from reserve, move 12 inches. I've then got my 36-inch range, strength 8, AP2 Lance. Again, vehicles and are going down. That's 3 Lances, which are awesome. And a Void Bomber for 160 points. The Void Bomber has 2 Void Lances and a Void Mine, which, if I can get to the back of the book, Void Lance is a strength 9 AP2 36-inch range, and a Void Mine is strength 9 AP2 bomb 1 large blast lance. So that's strength 9 AP2 lance weapon. There's 2 of them on this bad boy, and a ballistic skill of 4. So yeah, those are even better than normal lances because they're strength 9. So you're going to be hurting land raiders a lot easier. And monoliths and stuff like that. And it's only 160 points, which again, I think is cheaper than the Eldar fighter. So that's awesome. So the Ravager is going to be for vehicles. The Void Bomber is going to come on and do similar things that the Razor Wing will do. It will come on, shoot at vehicles, move up, shoot at vehicles. The Void Bomber will then let its bomb off. It's a 1 use only. So if it's got a unit of tanks together, boom, got a big blob of small point model loads in the unit, so like cultists or gaunts, boom, that's pretty much gone. Yeah, so that's good. 675 points for my heavy, and I've calculated the specialist weapons such as the lances and the haywire shots that I have in this army, because again my opponents use tanks a lot. It's a shooting game. What's going to happen to you if you don't have tanks? Well, unless you're Tyranids, which don't have tanks, a foot army isn't usually going to win. I don't see a lot of foot slogging armies out there. Everyone uses vehicles some way or another because vehicles are much needed. Even if that's a drop pod getting you in. Drop pod army is going to come against you. They're going to have a lot of shots against you, but by turn 2 you can then counter that. Oh, all your drop pods now are gone. If it's kill points, I've just got a load of free kill points, and I can fire at your units with my salvo weapons and poison weapons, which are awesome. So in this list I have 12 lance weapons and I have 5 haywire weapons. If I had all of them in one round of shooting, that's 17, more than likely between a few misses, 10 to 15 hull points I'm taking off. So Dark Eldar not only with their poison weapons can take down monstrous creatures, do massive shots against normal troops, they have access to taking down lots of vehicles, which is huge. And I don't think other armies have such an array of lance weapons or such an array of vehicle killing shots. Yes, the Dark Eldar are weak, they're toughness 3, most of their armour saves in this army are going to be a 5 up. The vehicles are rarely above armour value 10, but you can jink with these things. Some of them have flicker fields, which is a 5 up invulnerable save. Keep them slightly behind buildings, you get a 4 up armour save. 4 up cover save from that. This list is the swarm of bees and a truck. The swarm of bees will take stings out of you. Your opponent will get disorientated. All these lance and haywire shots will be crippling his vehicle. You'll be taking pot shots and ripping off loads of his units and men that they've got. And then, if needs be, I've got the Taloses and the Incubi to mop up units in close combat. And they're the only units I would consider putting into close combat. But, yeah. This army is very shooty, heavy weapons, and lots of normal shots. A good combination of both. That Trueborn unit essentially has 4 weapons which are salvo 4/6. The Cabalite Warriors have the rapid fire poison. The Venoms with them have a splinter rifle and a splinter cannon. The Archon has a splinter cannon on his Venom. There's Mandrakes coming in from reserve with all their shots. Hellions with all their shots. So there's a good mixture of shooting. A very shooty army that isn't designed to go into close combat, which is the making of a good 7th edition army. There's loads of units that can separate, either the Venoms and stuff, so they can capture objectives. Again, good for 7th edition. Lots of lances and haywires to take down vehicles. Good for 7th edition. Which would indicate to me Dark Eldar will be a good 7th edition army, but you still have to protect them and understand that these are toughness 3 models, that these are armour value 10 vehicles. But I like it. I mean, I've played Eldar. I've played toughness 3. I've played generally so that my vehicles survive, because as soon as my Eldar vehicles go down, my troops inside will be shot to pieces. I played the 4th edition Eldar Codex for a very long time and had to protect them, and I would win with that codex. So I'm hoping that my experience with that, my understanding of how 7th edition is as a game and how it is vehicles and objectives, I have counters to my opponents, and there are too many things in this list that he has to shoot at that he won't be just completely destroying. He could just destroy 3 or 4 units, but then it's turn 2, I've got loads more units coming on the board. So let me know in the comment section below what you think about this list, whether there's anything you would change, or whether you think it's a good list, reasonable list. Again, we don't play competitive tournaments, so I'm not going to be spamming a lot of things. I'm trying to get a balanced / competitive army list so that I can have a decent charter on the table with the model variations that I like. Because I like the Taloses, I like the Ravagers and the Flyers, but I know the Venoms are awesome. They've been awesome since 6th edition, or whenever the Venoms came. Yeah, 6th edition. So yeah, that's my army list. Please leave a like, it means a lot to me. Please share, comment, and let people know about the channel, and just keep watching. And then more and more awesome videos are going to come out for you guys. So I've been Mark from the Xenovids channel, doing another Dark Eldar list, hopefully a little bit better. And I will see you on the next video.